enough food is grown to properly feed every man, woman, and child on earth. This is a definition of nourishment. There are three main components in food security. One being food availability, having enough money to feed everybody. Secondly, being food access, having enough money to purchase the food. And the third and last being consuming a balanced diet or having enough variety in food to keep you well nourished. 1/6 of the world's population, more than 1 billion people, are malnourished. This means they do not have the proper diet for the maximum good health. Most of the world's people that are undernourished are living in countries such as Asia, Africa, and Latin America. 10% that are hungry are scattered throughout these countries. Hello, here's Colombia signing on right now. Hunger is an issue in the Sahel. The Sahel has had its third major hunger crisis in 7 years. These food crises have been due to poor harvests and high food prices. The UN has said that at the end of April 2012, 16.6 million in the 9 countries of the Sahel are malnourished. Specifically, the UN stated that Niger, Mali, Burkina Faso, and Mauritania are the most affected by hunger. Also, some parts of Chad, Senegal, Gambia, Cameroon, and Nigeria have been affected. In this region, more than 1 million kids are at risk of starvation. The World Food Program states that in Niger, many families have not yet recovered from the drought in 2010, and that now most of the families have less to fall back on now than they did then. The famine was the main cause of the food crisis from 2005 to 2010, but the countries are working hard to bounce back. The food prices in the Sahel have been much higher in 2011 than they have been in 2010. In Mali, a conflict has displaced tens of thousands of people and made it very difficult for aid agencies to reach the most helpless areas in the north. Most of the agencies have withdrawn their international staff from this part of the country. Many of these displaced have fled to other areas that have limited food and water supplies. To help the Sahel region, the government needs to invest more deeply in local agriculture and acknowledge that trade and that aid cannot provide all of the answers, especially when the prices of grain are so high. Internationally, many things are being done to help ensure food security. The local people of regions are working hard to provide important local crops for their community. People have to work with whatever weather they are in, even during the most detrimental of conditions, such as a drought. When drought hits an area, it can completely wipe out all plants, but people are finding ways to get around this drought problem. It is called crucial famine food. The crucial famine food is trees. People are standing up recognizing how important trees are. For example, trees supply many countries with crops such as fruits, nuts, seeds, flowers, sepals, and sap. Trees are so important during droughts because they can usually survive the droughts while most other plants die off. Sometimes trees can provide as much as, if not more, nutrients than a crop from a plant. For example, the leaves of a Moringa oleifera are harvested across Africa, India, and South America. The leaves contain more beta-carotene than carrots, more vitamin C than oranges, and more calcium than milk. When trees can withhold themselves during a drought, they can be beneficial not only the communities themselves, but also to the nation and economy as well. Thank you. This is Keith Franklin signing off.